Hi, I'm Kelly Breyer. I'm here with my audience of coworkers. So by show of hands, how many of you have been to a haunted house before? Okay, how many of you liked it? How many of you hated it? It's understandable. How many of you have ever wondered how much time and energy it takes to get the whole thing together and pull it up? The answer to that question might actually surprise you. Whether it's a small home haunt or if it's a large scale like a professional haunt, the time and the detail they put into all the building, all the promotion and working with the actors, it really adds up a lot. And I can say I know a little bit about it because my family, including my 2 kids, we and their dad, we ran a home haunt for years, and we started off small. We had too many Halloween decorations, and it took over the yard. And then as it grew and grew, by the end of it, we had it as a full walkthrough through our house, where people would come through the front door, they'd go through our entire house, out the back door. We had a corn maze built in the backyard, and people would go through that and then back around to the front. So it became rather extravagant with everything. And then after that, we were picked up by Bloodshed Farms in Columbus, New Jersey. They found us at a convention, which I'll kind of get into a little bit later. But the big thing when we went to them, the first thing we noticed was just the atmosphere of the sets. It was super creepy when you walked in there, and it just kind of threw you off a little bit. Building and set design is one of the biggest parts of the experience, because as you're going through, that's what can really start to make you unsure what's real, what's not real. Kind of mess with your mind a little bit if you're at a haunted attraction or really into something you're not supposed to be into. Putting up all the new walls, changing room designs, and painting, it all takes time. Most of the haunts actually begin their building process in May. And along with my other research, I got the opportunity to interview Clark and Jim, who are the owners of Bloodshed Farms. And they've even said for some of the new attractions, they have begun building at the end of March. So, yeah, you're talking more than 8 months before the haunt even opens. Now, after a room is set, the props are the next thing to come in. And some of these places have a lot of money. They spend a ridiculous amount on elaborate, expensive items that can really wow someone. But a lot of stuff is also built by the owners, some of the actors that help out a lot. And with the props, you can look anywhere for stuff like thrift stores. When we were doing ours, we did a lot of Craigslist shopping. We were able to find stuff that was kind of cool and trade it up for other things, and eventually we were able to get full doctor office setups, starting from something as little as a microscope. So you can trade things, and you finally end up with all these amazing props. Other things that work out well is, other than thrift stores, you can do yard sales, and even checking out on trash night, whatever the neighbors put out. It's amazing what you can turn into a prop. And it's especially great for people that do the small home haunts like we did, because you're on a very tight budget and it really isn't money to go buy all this elaborate stuff. The haunt owners usually attend about 1 to 2 classes a year just to learn how to keep their knowledge up on how to build stuff and, just build new things. There's always somebody inventing some newer, easier way to do something, or some cool thing that they can learn. So they do a lot of conventions for that. One of the biggest problem areas when it comes to the building, and it comes with the lighting and the electronic stuff, the fog machines, they malfunction all the time. I mean, electronics are never good. So you might not realize it while you're running, screaming in the attraction, but there's actually people running around all the time that are trying to fix any kind of malfunction that happens. Talking with Clark, he said it was about 80% of the time that there's something that needs to be adjusted, just slightly, not a lot, but enough that it'll make a difference for the customer. And taking care of all these glitches is extremely important because it keeps the customer coming back. You want to make sure everything runs glitch-free. And when the customers come back, they usually bring friends, so it's great word-of-mouth advertising. And when it comes to all the promotion stuff, when they're promoting a haunt, Jim actually informed me that the plans and the marketing ideas begin in mid-January. So that is super, super early, it seems like. But they have the website and the social media sites, they have to keep that all up to date, keep it new and informative and entertaining for people. They make up the flyers, they start distributing them to local stores, to grocery stores, or just hand stuff out. They do that about maybe a month beforehand. The home haunters also tend to distribute stuff. We make up little business cards or just little signs, maybe go door to door in the neighborhood and let people know what's going on. Hang a flyer in any store that'll let you. Billboards, however, are a much more expensive promotional investment. So there's got to be a lot of great care that goes into the location of it, and really what message you're putting on the billboard. The first billboards that Bloodshed Farms put up was 2 years ago, and they actually used my picture to put on the billboards, which was pretty cool. The location was key. They had them on the 295, they had them over on 130 in Bordentown and stuff. Anywhere that was eye-catching and people would really take notice to it. But they only put that up a week before the haunt opened, because again, it is very expensive and it costs a lot. Another way that they really promote is through horror and haunt conventions. You may not even realize that there's a lot of them around here, but I know Monster Mania and Cherry Hill is a big thing. All the celebrities come out, and then even little haunt people and haunt owners and vendors come out. And the larger haunts typically fit about 3 to 4 conventions in a year. And it's a great way just to promote the business. You can hand out flyers, you can kind of draw attention, and one of the big things they do is they bring a lot of characters in, actors that sometimes help through the whole year. The characters will run around and take pictures with people, and it's just a lot of fun. And these conventions are not only wonderful for promoting the haunt, but also recruiting people. As I said, that's where they got us from. We were in character running around one of these conventions, and they said, hey, how would you guys like to work for us? And they learned that we were home haunters, so they knew we had some of that building experience, which is always nice to bring in. So that's where we met them from. And it's really great because you need the right kind of actors. It's the hardest thing. They can make or break a haunt. You'd think finding enough people that would like to scare someone and just have fun, it would be easy, but it's actually not. We actually have a really hard time of maintaining a good level of staffing. Especially, like, it's only part-time and seasonal, but it's kind of hard to find employees who are reliable, even for just that short period of time. If one person doesn't show up, then the whole production is affected, and most nights you're missing quite a few people. So you've got to rearrange and kind of compensate for whatever areas are at a loss at that moment. And with the other main issue with the actors is their ability. A good amount of time is really spent training the actors so that they don't say things like boo, or like, there's all different things you learn as you go, and they put a lot of time and training into it, and the actors make the good show. If they can stay in character and, they're dedicated and they really pull it out. If they don't feel like putting their all into it, because this is only part-time, they don't really care, then it shows, and it can really hurt the haunt and make a difference. And it's not an easy job, it's exhausting. Talking with Clark and Jim, they each were home haunters for about 5 years, so they did their acting. Then they started at Mount Holly Haunted Prison in New Jersey, and they were there for 9 years until this, for the last 3 years they've been at Bloodshed Farms out in Columbus, and they've been acting, the entire time. They also have been acting during the conventions. Like I was saying, the characters come out, well, they will go into character, get all dolled up, and go around and have fun interacting with the people. Some of the actors wear makeup, while others, like myself, wear a mask. And I actually brought mine with. kind of pass it around here just to get,
Is this the one that they used on the billboard?
yes, that was,
That is so
That's
cool.
heavy.
I brought it to give you an idea of the weight of it, because,
Wow.
you know, promoting during the summer,
You can't touch it? Oh, come on.
Stop.
promoting during the summer,
Lift the hair, look how heavy it is, just lift the hair. My goodness,
and
can
it's
you
actually
imagine?
real human hair.
It
Oh,
is?
lovely, thanks.
Oh, it is?
It's all hand punched in, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
But,
interesting.
yeah, the weight of
It's
it,
like 10
like,
pounds on your head.
yes, and promotion, sometimes we do promoting in the summertime. It is unbelievably hot.
I believe
Alright,
it.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Have you shared that mask?
That's really cool.
Oh, no, that's mine.
Okay.
The kind we get run extremely expensive.
That's heavy, y'all.
Yeah, what's that puppy cost?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, what's that
Hand
cost?
punched hair, makeup and all that, it's close to $700 or so.
Holy moly.
Wow.
It's custom job. But the promoting during the summer gets very hot. Wearing it all night during haunt season is rough, and some actors do end up quitting. So, you know, next time you find yourself in line, to be scared. Kind of take a minute and look around and see. You may notice more detail in how things are built. You may notice how many actors are actually there and how involved they are, how much they're really playing the part. You may even have noticed what kind of promotional material it was that brought you in, whether you saw a billboard or a flyer or something like that. But hopefully you'll have a new appreciation for all the work that really goes into it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any
Thank you,
questions?
Kelly.
Any questions?
So did you have to go somewhere to get that made up like that, your mask?
Yes, I actually designed the makeup on it and everything.
Oh, okay. And you
It's
just,
supposed to be a zombie with the teeth.
so you went, you had it all drawn up and just went somewhere and they made it like that,
Yeah.
or? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
And
it's,
where
Wow,
do you
that's
go to
neat.
get something like that made?
it actually came from the Craigslist, the bartering stuff that I talked about. I had gone and I wanted something as simple as a microscope for a lab scene in our home haunt, which built up to the lady that had the microscope. Her husband was a doctor who wasn't fully legit and he was going away. And we ended up buying most of his office, of, you know, all the supplies. We found a centrifuge there. I put that on Craigslist because we had a few of them. They run quite a lot of money. And vet office, someone said, hey, I'd like to buy that for my doctor. He said I'd live on Penhurst property and I have access to one of the caskets from underground. I said, all right, we'll trade. So we traded to the casket, and the guys that make all the sets at Field of Screams up in Lancaster, the two main guys are huge avid Penhurst collectors. So they said, look, I put that out there to try and trade up on that. Even though it's cool, you couldn't tell that it was a casket, it just looked like a box. And for a home haunt, it's not real scary. He's an avid collector, so he went ahead and he was like, I'll tell you what, give me that, I'll make you 2 of these $500 piece masks, and I'll give you all access tickets to get into the haunt and stuff. So that was our connection with them, and we've been friends ever since.
Oh, cool.
Those were the cheaper masks that the kid's dad had gotten, and then when I designed mine, they went ahead and built that up. So I did have to pay some for it, but it was a huge discount because we've been working with them for so many years.
Decent.
Cool.
That's decent.
Wow, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.